Thank you so much for stopping by. If this is your first time, welcome. My name is Miriam. I am a Kenyan journalist, and in my journalism career, I specialize on Africa's current affairs and also in international relations analysis on the African continent. That is because I am a student of international relations. Now today, I'd like to speak to two groups of people. One, those who are having some thoughts or are passionate about certain career path, but for whatever reason they're unable to perhaps go to school and gain that knowledge to enable them join this career. And two, people who have already gone through perhaps the education system, they've studied this on this career, and they have been having troubles in finding a job and just gaining that necessary work experience that a lot of times is required of us when you are when you're looking for a job. So for the first group of people, I do understand how that feels, because if you have watched any of my videos before, I did mention that I started in journalism before I ever went to a journalism school. Matter of fact, I was a journalist for 9 years before having joined a journalism school. I was having, for whatever reasons, others to do with the finances and others, so I was not able to go to a journalism school at that time. So what I did, there's this television station that was hiring my first TV job, but they wanted to train us for 6 months, and then after that we interned for 3 months. So the 6 months we're not being paid anything. They were offering us lunch. That was good enough for those who could afford to commute and all that to this space. And they were training us practically on the job for 6 months. Then after that we interned for 3 months, and then we were given our first job contract. So that is how I got started in journalism. So if you're somebody who wishes to join a certain career and whatever reason you're not able to go to school and study it at the moment, then you could want to perhaps volunteer your time into that career. If you can find opportunity to go in there and volunteer and learn and see how you can get a foot in that company or in that career, and just have a feel and then decide if this is something that you would want to do moving forward. But I think my main focus on today is just to encourage especially the young people out there to volunteer. Sometimes it's not the easiest of things, because a lot of companies might not be giving you some rewarding your efforts with some wages or pay of some sort. So you find that you're not able to give your time like that, because you have bills and other responsibilities that actually requires for you to make a living and take care of. So that can be an actual challenge, and I do acknowledge that. But if you're able and you are in a position where you can give your time to gain a skill, that will be very important for you if you're looking to change and move forward in your life in terms of career, or just trying to do something else different in life. Okay, now for the second group of people who have finished also school, studied that whatever it is, you went to college, university, you studied it, and now you're finding it difficult to gain some experience in the job market. Also, volunteering can be a very good platform for you to gain the skills. After my first television job, I had some interest on radio. So there's a radio station that was close by my house, and so I volunteered there for almost 2 years, but I was working every now and then over the weekend. So I learned about radio. I know how to operate all that stuff in radio, and that is how I learned. I volunteered. Weekdays was a bit tricky for me because I was doing other things, and within those 2 years I was not really employed in any media house. So that was the place I was, because for me, when you're passionate about something, sometimes it does not matter the price you get to pay. If you have a goal and you're working and you know exactly where you want to get in life and how you want to achieve it, sometimes you're presented with different possibilities, and a lot of these are not the easiest to take, and it requires a bit of something from you. So if you look at the bigger picture and you're in a position where you can volunteer to gain this skill, to gain this knowledge, to take you forward in your career path or whatever it is you choose to do, then sometimes these sacrifices can be worth it for me, it has been worth it. It has been worth it. I've worked there. And then I remember also another television station that I worked for before, where I am today. I think I volunteered because they were looking for, they weren't looking. One day I was watching, I was flipping through the channels, and then I see this new television station. I see a number there that I could call, and I actually called and I said, hey, my name is so-and-so. I have this much number of experience in the media industry. I have a show idea I'd like to pitch with the station. So I booked myself an appointment, and then I went and met this lady, Angeline. We are very good friends right now. That station closed down because of many other reasons. And so I went and met, and they said, you know what, well, this show idea, we love it, but as it is right now, we're not able to pay you. I said, fine, when do I start shooting this show, you know? And so we started after, I think, a month or so, we started shooting. But even that, I volunteered for a while. Then after a while, of course, I was employed. And then before long, I think worked there for I was there for maybe 2 years or so. The station closed down because of certain issues. It was being owned by one of the leading universities here in Kenya, and because of it was having some financial trouble, so they closed down that station. So anyway, but even there, I got to learn. I got to learn, and I started off as not being paid. So sometimes you just need a footing inside where you want to be and where you want to go, and then by you being there, maybe that can open up an opportunity for you to get employed. So I went there, and then over time, I was put on a payroll, but after a while. So don't be discouraged. I know finding work, the job market now, especially in the media industry or even in many other industries out there, it is quite saturated, and we have so many of these graduates coming out of school trying to look for job opportunities, which are very scarce, and the economy is battered across many countries in the world. So finding a job opportunity is very difficult, but volunteering can be a good place for you to start to gain that experience and to gain extra skill as you build yourself, knowing in your mind where you want to get with your career and your life. So I would encourage you, if you're able to volunteer, please volunteer at least even 2-3 months. Just volunteer and get the necessary experience. Call. Like for me, I called that station. I went to the radio station. They were not advertising for a job. They were not hiring, but I made a call, and I took myself to these places, and I knocked on these doors, and opportunities opened for me, and I either had an opportunity to learn, or in the other one I had an opportunity to learn and also volunteer, and also I got absorbed. I got paid later. And so volunteer for as much time as you can afford, because working for free can be very difficult, and it's very difficult, especially if you don't have somebody who can support that. So just find ways. Like for the radio station, I couldn't volunteer weekdays. I was doing other things, but I had my Saturday, so I volunteered. So I learned how to edit in radio. I learned how to work on audio. I learned how to operate the machines, how they work, how to slot music and all these things. And it was quite an exciting experience, but I learned all that through volunteering. So I would like to encourage you, don't just sit at home and do nothing, because for me, that is even what drives me to volunteer every now and then when I'm out of work, or when I used to be out of work, because I hate just sitting down with my brain and do nothing. My brain does not work like that. I like being involved in things that better and that enhance my thinking capabilities and just me as a person, something that really builds me and moves me from where I am and to where I need to go as far as my career is concerned. So if that is you out there and you've been wondering and you're sitting at home with your certificates and you did so well, no job opportunities are coming by, no internships opportunities are coming by, how about you start looking for opportunities where you can volunteer so that you can build that experience and that extra skill that perhaps you need to get you to where you need to go. All right? Okay. So thank you so much for taking your time. Please don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to share. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.